All right, here's week 3. Welcome to week 3 of my recaps. You guys ready? I can't believe it's almost a month. The minute I posted last week's video, the sky just opened and this black hole of torrential downpour became the new norm. In short, this video will be about rain. The rainstorms. They're not just like a rainstorm, a little shower, a little sprinkle here and there. Most of the time that the rain starts here in Tulum, it is scary. Everything gets dark, the wind starts blowing, the trees start swaying, and the rain blankets the entire neighborhood. But it just ends. And all of a sudden, everything's fine. You go outside and do whatever you want. One guarantee is that you will lose power. Blackouts are exponentially more of a normal thing during thunderstorms. And they take longer to come back on. Power just went out. This is not uncommon. I'm home alone right now, 7 p.m. Hopefully I have enough battery to carry me through my blog editing. In our first recap, I mentioned that you could put your clothes outside and they'll be dry in an hour flat. That is no longer the case. If you put your clothes outside now, they won't get dry at all. The humidity outside is so high that the air feels wet. Not to mention, with humidity and post-rain comes tons of mosquitoes and tons of ants and a really scary rhino beetle, which I learned is also prominent in places like Colombia, and my sister said in Connecticut. Luckily, this was my first experience with them, but I accidentally killed it. Although it was an accident, it took a lot of muscle. So I decided to crack the door open during a rainstorm and do a little video of the pool and the rain coming down. It sounded so beautiful. I opened the door, I see nothing. I look down and there is a big, fat rhino beetle. I shut the door so fast. For like the next 15 minutes, I just heard it like walking into the door. It sounded like he was knocking. Like if someone was pushing on the door. So I opened the door one more time. I was like, you know what? Let me not be afraid of this thing. I got my camera ready. I opened the door and that thing had been sat up against the door jamb at the back side of the door. So when I opened the door, it fell inward towards the frame of the door and the door itself. My first thought is that thing was gonna come inside. So I quickly shut the door and I heard, but this thing was so big, the door bounced back open because it was too big to shut the door. It's now stuck in the door jamb. The only way for me to shut the door was use my muscle, like my shoulder and bicep on a beetle. And I pushed on the door and I heard so many cracks of exoskeleton, and I shut the door and I killed it. And I'm sorry, it was so big. The poor thing was just trying to find a place to go and I smushed it in the door. Okay, back to the rain. After the rain has subsided and you head outside, you find this crime scene of hundreds of bugs who have been murdered by rain, and the ants have a feast. This is the next 10 days for us. Just rain, that's all. I know I talk a lot of crap about the rain and the blackouts, but when they do happen, something really beautiful happens here in the building. The musicians come out. They literally come out of their apartment, sit in front of the door, and play their instruments. It's a beautiful sound and a really peaceful moment. The thunderstorms here in Tulum are so spotty that it's tough to plan out your day. This past week, we found ourselves stuck indoors a little more than we wanted to be. We had to get really creative with how we passed the time. Here's some examples of what we got into. I am gonna attempt to be the driver today. We'll see how this goes.
Through the scooter. Yep, right up that hole. Yeah.
It's really quite petrifying to ride down these roads after rainstorms because you just don't know how much these holes are full of water.
Yes, do it. We're in South America. We're in Latin America. Yeah.
I was born in the soul of misery. Never had me a name.
Yeah.
They
Just there. Oh, I didn't get the. Come on, son. Sit down, boy. You know how Puerto Ricans feel about Cubans.
How?
Like that! Sit down.
Extra scene. Any suggestions, things you want to see, just add it in the comments. Any tips, tricks, advice? I'm enjoying making these videos. I hope you are enjoying watching them. See you next week.